Alright, whatever.
Hey, Randall, maybe you want to give people that accidentally click on our link a little rundown on what Empty Rant is.
You mean the one that I wrote up before, or what?
One off the top of your head. Go.
Wing it.
Empty rant is empty ranting. Everybody.
It's word vomit.
It's word vomit. It's what our beloved participant Jeremy is probably doing right now, but of words, not contents of his stomach. So.
We're Jeremy. R.I.P. Jeremy.
God bless. God bless.
We wish him the best. Jeremy, we hope you make a speedy recovery and join back on the podcast whenever you can. In the meantime, I don't know. Get better. So, I don't know what topics you had. We didn't really run it down, but I had originally called this Murdering Rex Amos. And I changed up his name because I didn't want to put it, I went to high school with this guy, and so we changed up the name so that you don't make that association. We don't get sued by the 3 people that listen to us in Russia.
I saw that in an email. So you wanted to share a story? Is that what that was about, or?
Yeah. So the story is about this guy named Rex Amos, and I think we were going on this episode just about high school associations and things that I guess life in high school for us. When did you graduate, Tony?
06.
You graduated in 2006. Randall, when did you graduate?
3.
03. Hang on.
Yeah, Adrian.
What is that?
Sorry, Adrian, had to eject you again. You brought the leg. But no, okay, so and I know Jesse graduated in 2000. Wait, no, you graduated in 2005, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so y'all all kind of go all the way together. Quick shout out to Adrian, super fan. Maybe next time, bro. I don't know what's going on with this internet. Get better internet, bro. And I don't know. How was high school for you guys? What kind of crowd did you associate with, Tony?
I was kind of a loner. I was in art and wood shop. I kind of regretted not being in band. Saw a lot of friendships develop in band.
Did you have like a clique of friends you hung out with, or?
Yeah, I could tell about Terror Squad from your high school.
I didn't really develop clique like that until college.
Oh.
Yeah, like I would tell them in when I went to Pan Am, like, yeah, I went to row 2, and they're like, you did? Because I was a total loner. Like,
Dude, you went to row?
Yeah, I did.
What's that?
It's a high school. But yeah, definitely I was.
Has it sunk to the ground yet?
No, I don't believe so. I've seen it. It doesn't look like it's on fire. Last time I was in the valley, so.
Yeah, because they still need it.
Yeah.
Huh. Anyways, okay. Okay, so you were a loner. You didn't.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
Do you keep in contact with anyone from high school?
I would say, well, I still consider my college friends kind of my high school friends.
Were they?
I kind of knew them from we went to the same high school.
Okay.
That's why I was kind of part of their clique, if you want to.
Now you're from RGV like Randall, but you didn't know Randall.
No, I didn't know Randall.
Randall says there's a Khalifa Western wear there, but that's no association with you.
No, probably distantly related somehow, but.
Do you even dress up like a cowboy?
Not when people.
Have you ever dressed up like a cowboy?
Not when anyone's looking?
Not when anybody's looking. In the privacy of my own bedroom.
Huh. How about you?
Yeah,
So if you're at home, Tony, wearing nothing but a cowboy hat and assless chaps, and you're calling yourself a midnight cowboy?
I mean, that's what I do when I'm home. It's a.
Don't forget the lightsaber.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah, I could see you doing that with the lightsaber. What kind of crowds you run with, Randall. I know you hung out with Sergio a few times, but
Yeah, so that should be a pretty good indication of the people I hung out with.
I guess Adrian was one of those too, right?
No, I actually didn't know Adrian until college. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah, high school was a pretty time. Middle school was pretty awful. So high school turned out to be markedly better than middle school turned out to be. That's for sure.
Okay. Yeah, man. Looks like your connection's kind of going a little in and out. Just FYI.
Yeah, speaking of, I got grandfather in to go to where my brother and sister went to high school when all my middle school friends went to a different high school because they redid the zoning. So I kind of went to high school without any friends. And
Where'd you go to middle?
Brown.
Brown.
Oh, no wonder, yeah.
Yeah, it's the
This is.
most ghetto.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I got sent to De Leon when everybody else I knew went to Morris.
Over there in San Angelo. Well, San Angelo has two major high schools. And you got Lakeview and you got Central. And then, well, if I remember, Jesse, you went to Central, right?
Yes, I did.
And you hung out with like the hipster skateboarder kids.
Sure.
You hung out with the straight edge kids. They were all like rocking out to this. That's him. That's Jesse.
Pretty much.
Nice. That's good. We're gonna play that song later. Do some guest lyrics on that song.
Oh, Superfan reports that he also went to Roe, Tony.
Thank you, Adrian. Thank you for reporting it. Well, okay, so Jesse, you went in San Angelo because I lived in Gray Creek, which is 10 miles outside of San Angelo, and it's a little rural community. And if you go to Gray Creek, the people you started off with in elementary are the people you're graduating with in high school. There's only 3 schools. It's elementary, middle school, high school, and they're all the same. Which it sounds like for you guys, you could start off in an elementary and then go to a different middle school than some of the people you start off with. That's how it was for Jesse. I mean,
Yeah, I attended 5th grade and part of 6th grade at Angelo Catholic School. And then I moved to Brownwood, Texas. I actually repeated 7th grade because I went from Texas to Louisiana to California back to Texas, all within the 7th grade. So when I got back to Texas, I had absolutely no credits. So I had to go to 7th grade again, unfortunately. So I ended up in 7th grade at Glenn Junior High, and then yeah, I left California again and then came back and ended up at Central where I graduated.
How would you say your social status there? You say like here when you were going to high school, were you one of the more popular kids? You feel like you were one of the bullies? Were you getting bullied?
No, I wasn't getting bullied, but I wasn't bullying either. I was kind of just unimportant. I mostly hung out with. I guess we associated from skateboarding in junior high, and then by the time we got to high school, I guess some of our interests changed, but most of the kids I skated with in junior high ended up in either bands or going to local shows. So that's where I guess my interest in music peaked, and so then I started joining the bands. So I spent most of my time at like punk shows, hardcore shows, venues, and then eventually joining bands and traveling on the weekends and playing neighboring towns like Midland, Abilene, stuff like that. So.
But you were never in the band.
Oh yeah, I was in bands. I was in a few bands.
No, were you in the marching band?
Oh no, not like that band. No.
You played the trumpet?
No sir.
Was anybody in band? Randall, were you in band in high school? Like
In middle school, I was.
A band.
No, the high school I went to didn't have any kind of extracurricular stuff like that because it was a science and math magnet school for nerds.
Oh, so y'all were being corralled and basically.
Just like mathletes, decathlon stuff, any
Focus.
kind of UIL activities. they gave out Lettermans to people who were like really successful in UIL activity, not for anything else.
That's cool, man. Yeah. Well, I mean, over there for Great Creek, I mean, it was kind of typical. Like any West Texas city, football is a big thing. If you're the high school quarterback, you're like the most popular kid. You're getting all that, whatever. The reason I don't know the crowd I really ran with. Most of the kids call them preppy, but I can't say that I was one of the preppy kids, and at the same time I can't say I was in band, but none of the preppy kids were there, and especially at my school it was mainly Baptist kids, and I was like this mainly white Baptist kids, and I'm this Mexican Catholic going to school there. Doesn't really have a lot of the same views there. I don't play sports, so I can't really associate with them. Yeah. I don't know. I can't say I was a bully, but I remember getting bullied a lot, and that's why I call this the episode of Rex Amos. I got to remember that. I don't want to slip and say his name. I'm just gonna call him Rex from this point on. And I remember in 8th grade there was this event that changed my whole high school career and made me just rethink everything, but also at the same time made me very self-conscious. And what happened? I forget what class it was. It was probably health class, some type of health class in 8th grade. And there was this kid, and his mom was usually the teacher in there, but for whatever reason, she wasn't there that day, and we had a substitute. And this kid, for whatever reason, just wanted to keep hassling me. And that's fine. And actually, me and this kid, and for whatever, I'm done changing. This kid his name was Mitchell. And see, me and Mitchell got in a little tiff there. And the thing with me, whenever I get really mad or really angry, my body senses that it's going to overheat. And so it opens up this emergency drain gate or floodgate, and I just start crying. Like I start crying a lot. And no, I've never peed myself, but that was kind of one of those things like, if you're the kid that cries easily, you're going to get picked on in high school. You're going to get picked on in middle school, whatever. And this was one of those first instances that happened. And I got in a fight with this kid, and I don't even remember what it was about. But that fight would follow me all the way through high school, 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, and 12th grade after that. In regards to the actual fight, I remember me and him just latching onto each other with our arms. Nobody threw any punches or anything. I remember him slapping me, and that's why we went at each other. But then we just locked arms, and so nothing else was done. And then they just broke us apart. And I remember I was just crying because I was just really mad. And so at that point it became Miguel, like the fat Mexican crybaby. It's like those names. And it became this thing. I became self-conscious about it because I didn't want to. I never wanted to be found crying in front of anybody. So I was always trying to hide that. And anytime I did cry, I remember going to the bathroom. I'd do this thing where I would try to flush my eyes out with cold water and cool my face down because I didn't want my eyes to be red and therefore showing. And so these things follow you through when things like that happen. So me and Mitchell became actually good friends after that. And nothing there. But there was this one kid, and this kid Rex Amos.
Oh,
and he just would not let that go. And anytime he would see me, he would bring that up. He's like, I'm going to kick your ass like Mitchell did back in 8th grade. And it's 10th grade. I was like, dude, that was 2 years ago. You got to let this go. At that time, I can't say that I was very confident. I wasn't a very confident individual. At that time, I was very self-conscious about my weight. Not that I'm any less self-conscious about it now, but I don't really give a shit what other people think, so it doesn't really bother me that much.
Oh, man, that's good, fatty.
But at that time, I just remember this guy. He would always make reference to me crying then, and then if there was another time during high school, actually I got into a fight with this other guy named Alfredo, and again, it was a really stupid fight. Nothing came about it.
Talking kick.
And actually, me and Alfredo became good friends after that again. But there was another time, and that had to have been in 9th grade. And that he saw me crying. And so, Rex just keeps making these references, and anytime he sees me in the hallway, he's like, "Hey, what's up, fatty? You gonna cry today?" and it just kept building on me and building on me and building and building. And I always pull back to this memory, you know, and this guy probably has no idea. He probably even forgot about me in high school. And I always see him, like, I'll see his sisters post pictures of him on Facebook, and so, like, those memories are just pulled back from there, and it's a really almost like emotional cutting whenever I see this on Facebook. But I remember this one day, and it was the fall of my junior year, and I had, for whatever reason, got in a fight with my dad that morning. And so eyes were super red, went to school, because obviously I cried with my dad. I'm like, man, I hate my dad, whatever. My mom's like, you got to go to school, and so she drops me off. And it's early in the morning, you're just like uncomfortable. You already had this like bad interaction with your dad. And for whatever reason that day, Rex was just really laying it down on me in Spanish class. And so the following day, or that night, before the following day, that night I decided, man, I'm just gonna kill this guy when I go to school tomorrow. I'm gonna kill this guy in the hallway, and I really don't care what happens to me, whatever, take me to prison, whatever. So I remember packing I had packed a pocket knife, and I was carrying that on my body, but I had packed this bigger kitchen knife in my backpack. And see, at my at my high school, they don't do like metal detection. They don't have any metal detectors or anything. We didn't even have security. It was just like you walk in and out and stuff like that. So, you know, first period goes by, and I'd always see this guy between third and fourth. So we're in first period, and I'm just contemplating how I'm going to do this. I'm going to walk up to this guy, and I'm just going to stab him in the chest, or I'm going to slice his throat. I haven't decided how I want to do it, but I know I'm going to do it.
Oh yeah, you've had multiple scenarios where you, like the assassin, will go up to him and just take him out with a kitchen knife.
Right. I mean, that's what I had access to. My parents don't believe in guns, so we didn't have any guns. You know, and there's no telling if we did have access to it. If I did have access to a handgun, I probably would have taken that to school, but I didn't have access to it, so I remember that, not taking that. And all I had access to was, you know, these knives, and so took that with me. And if anything, I was just going to cause this guy like bodily harm, if not kill him. Second period comes, and I'm like, okay, I could get him if I just go up behind him. And what I was planning on doing is like the sleeper move, get him in the hold, and I just wanted to like drive that knife like right up against his side, right underneath his rib cage. I was like, that's perfect. That's how I'm gonna do it. Whatever, I'm gonna kill this guy, and that's how what I'm gonna do. So here comes third period, and I'm just like getting myself up for it, getting myself ready to go in for it, and the bell rings, and I'm walking down the hallway. And I see Rex in the distance, and he's at his locker, and I'm approaching him, and right as I'm approaching him, I get called by my science teacher, Mr. V, in the hallway, and he calls my attention, and like I hear him calling me, but I'm still walking towards Rex, and this is the third time Mr. V is just like, Miguel, I need you to come here real quick, and he calls me over there. I was like, oh yeah, what's up? And he's like, hey man, I just want you to let you know you qualified for the state science fair, so congratulations. And I was just like, oh, man, thanks. I was about to kill someone in the hallway. I guess I'm going to go do the science fair now. And it was intense, though. But, yeah, that's a story of me, my attempt to murder Rex Amos. And that's probably the closest time I've ever come to actually killing someone and actually having premeditated and carried a weapon on myself.
So
did you have the knife like out, like on you whenever the teacher called you?
I was carrying my backpack in front of me, and I had it unzipped, and the knife was in there. And so what I planned to do was, right when I got up to him, I would reach in, grab the knife, drop the backpack, and wrap my arm around his neck, and then, you know, keep him still, and then just start shanking this guy, prison style.
wow.
But good thing that didn't happen. I probably wouldn't be here. Probably be like serving 25 to life.
Science saved your life.
And that's why we fucking love science. All right?
That's why I love science.
And that's why I joined the group. I fucking love science. And I committed my life to science and its work. And it's a promise to the future of all individuals that are wishing to murder their bully. Just turn to science. Go to the science fair.
Wow.
Open a science book.
Because this happens in schools like around the country.
Oh yeah,
Or
yeah,
what?
definitely this does happen. And I always see it when I see these anti-bullying ads. I saw this one where the guy said, and I can't say I was bullied to the point where it became physical. It was always just verbal bullying. And that shit just builds up on you. I don't care like who you are. And high school is such a time that you're still trying to find yourself, find out who you are, find out what your purpose is in life, which I still don't know, but you know, at that time you have no idea what the future holds. And you know, those little, you know, every day the high school politics, they're just such a big deal. You know, sitting back now and looking back at them, I'm just like, why did I give such a fuck? And what was wrong with me? But
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all have any experiences with bullies, but obviously, well, Jesse said he didn't have any bullies, but Randall seems like he'd be a bully. He's a big, goofy dude. I could see him bullying.
I would be a bully?
Yeah, I could definitely see you being a bully.
I'm only a bully to you.
Uh,
Now,
Hey, Fatty?
just
I
like
remember
you.
having a conversation where you said you were the bully, and now you just blew my mind over here.
Wait, are you referring to Miguel or me?
Yes, Miguel said he was kind of picked on people a lot.
I can't say I was a bully. I remember one time making fun of this mentally ill kid. No, it's one of the things like you do it because people are laughing and you want to fit in, and everyone's like, "Oh, that's so funny! You're funny, Miguel." And so you keep making fun of the retarded kid, but then,
You're funny, Miguel. Did he get less fat?
and then when you get, and then when you get home later, and even to this day, like I think about shit like that. And I don't know if y'all have like these emotional memories that you're tied back to, and you're like, man, I should have done this differently. I should have done that differently, and it really lays into me that I didn't act accordingly as I would now then, because I definitely would have stood up for the mentally ill kid, and those things bother me still. And I wish I could like go back and be like, hey man, sorry I picked on you. You know, there's this one girl in health class that I would make fun of because just everybody made fun of her. And I actually did see her at Mr. Gaddy's.
And she's now your wife.
She was she was busting one of the tables there, and I just remember like again you go through this emotional montage in your head of why you of seeing yourself picking on this girl, the reason you were doing it, and then just realizing such a ass of what an asshole you were. And before we left, I went up to her and I was just like, dude, I used to pick on you in high school, and I'm sorry, and for whatever it means, I was an asshole, and just know that you're an awesome person, and you shouldn't let that shit bother you if it does. Not that it would or should or anything, but I just needed to let you know that I am sorry for being an asshole. And she was like, you know what, thank you. She's like, I don't remember you, but
Stab you with the kitchen knife?
But she did say I got picked on a lot in high school, and you know, for whatever, what if that impacted her life? You know, this is, I mean, how long have I been out of high school? 2004. Here we are in 2014, so almost 11 years later. What if that event of me bullying her, what if that, you know, caused her to? I mean, she's what, 2 years younger than me, and she's working at Mr. Gaddy's. What if my bullying affected her life so bad that that's the best she can do? Not that there's anything wrong with busting tables at Mr.
Why didn't you give her money then? Why didn't you help her out? Why didn't you help her get a job over at
There's a million things I could have done, you know.
Huh?
I don't even know if that, you know, if
Why
that.
can't you fix it now? Why you got to be like, oh shit, man? You know, I wonder if things would have been different if I'd been nicer to her or whatever. Why don't you fucking help her out now then, ass? Huh, fatty? Damn.
I mean, you're right. You're right. Why don't I? You know. Maybe that's something I need to go back and like.
So this was
Follow up on
after your bullying incident.
It was probably at the same time.
It's at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I don't know if.
These are co-bullying going on.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's one of those things like. I never got full enjoyment out of it. I guess as a true bully
You're
would.
just seeking for acceptance.
I was just like, everyone laughs at this girl, so I'm gonna laugh at her. It was one of those things like you just do it because you want to fit in, and yeah, just an idiot. Just an idiot.
Wow. Do you talk about this a lot? Like,
No.
do your parents know about this?
This is actually probably the first time I mentioned this story to anybody.
Wow. Oh.
I remember my mom asking me why there was a kitchen knife in my room, and she probably thought I was doing something weird with it.
Yeah.
But
Masturbating. I mean, what?
Well, how does that feel? Let it. It's in the world now. It's online.
eh, I don't know.
And what? Okay, let's say. Let's think of solutions. Like this happened in schools today. What could have been done for you besides the science fair to save your life and the bully?
I think you start seeing these anti-bullying ads out now.
Yeah, you think that's doing anything? Or?
I think it might be making an effort, and even it's a very small effort. Or those campaigns are helping a very small percentage of students that may be getting.
It's bringing attention to the topic, but I don't think it's not keeping people from bullying. I guess I don't know. I mean, these adults or superiors want you to come and tell them, but it just seems like there's very little they can do. I introduced my 6-year-old to kindergarten this year for the first time, and there was a whole, parent-teacher conference just on bullying and about how it's not always bullying. Sometimes it's just kids being kids, and they can't always address everything. And so it just kind of seems like, I mean, it's a revolving circle, just like Miguel mentioned. I mean, he's getting bullied to the point where he's willing to take somebody's life, but at the same time, he's doing it too, even in a minute way. But I mean, it just seems like it's never going to go away. I mean, just like racism or sexism or anything like that. It's just I just don't really think there is a resolution to it. I mean,
well, what I'm saying to that is, if you saw those ads as a kid, would you have you should have sought guidance. I mean, you would have reported, but reporting him would not ever be in your possibility because you just didn't do that back then.
Yeah, I don't think it's so much the reporting.
Tony.
I remember in 8th grade kind of going through not the same scenario, but I was picked on in 8th grade following that fight, and for being the kid that cries, blah, blah, blah. And I remember reporting this one kid that was making fun of me to the counselor. And when I went and talked to the counselor, she actually pulled in the other student with me and was like, Miguel's been saying that this has been happening to him from you, and we're just trying to find a compromise. And at that time, the other kid was like, dude, I'm sorry. I didn't realize I was hurting you that way, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, cool. Well, we leave the office, and he's like, dude, fuck you for calling me in here, man. If you ever do that again, I'm going to kick your ass. I was just like, okay, I don't know what just happened.
Yeah, you fucking snitch. What did you expect?
So, I mean, those things. That's what I'm saying. Like, when we get to high school, I'm just like, well, I'm not going to report this kid. I'm just going to kill him. So I thought that was the solution there at that time. I don't know.
That's a nice alternative. That's a good decision.
But I mean, there really is the only alternative. I mean, if you end up telling somebody and you don't have like hard evidence that they're doing something, all they're going to do is just sit that kid down. And now, yeah, you're just a tattletale, you're a snitch, and it's just another reason for them to make fun of you. I mean,
exactly, and that's what happened as a result of 8th grade. And so I was just like, you know what? If I go report this, all that's gonna happen is that I'm just gonna get picked on more for this. So fuck it, let's just take this guy out. That was
just like any other abusive relationship. I mean, you don't want to tell anybody just because, I don't know, retaliation, I guess, or something to that effect. I mean.
Retribution.
Unless it's gonna like put them away or permanently distance you from them, which it has to be severe bullying. I mean, like it's just gonna give them another, bullet in their gun to, unleash on you.
Yeah, and at that time I'm also going through, high school. You go through puberty. You're going through all that stuff, and like I said, one, learning about yourself, but two, you got all these emotions running through your head. You're not thinking clearly. At least for me, I wasn't. And it wasn't until I graduated and went to college and you truly get to see how big the world is. At that time in high school, my world was very small and very selective and minute and just tiny. And I remember going to college, I was just like, whoa, there are other Mexicans out there. There's other people that aren't Mexican. There's black people here. There's Chinese people here. There's Cambodians. That, it's just like blows up. It's just like what the hell, Indian people. And I'm just like, oh, there is other Latinos that are smart. There are other black people that are smart. It was very closed-minded. My high school, and that just transpired onto me. And when I get pushed out into college, it's just like, oh, wow. So I don't know. It is one of the.
Your worldview was already established. You mean?
Yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't end up doing something in agriculture, graduating. Great.
Because the two big associations out there is FAA and 4-H. I mean that it's either that you play football or you join the band. And I was in the band. I was there playing the sousaphone, jamming out.
Dance maker dance.
Yeah, it's called.
So I have a quick story. I guess I don't know if anybody's paid attention to the news. I'm sure Jeremy knows, but the gentleman that recently killed the young lady at the bar.
The drive-through at the drive-by at Evans.
Yeah, that used to be my best friend, the guy that killed her in junior high. He's actually the one that probably got me into skateboarding. His name was I can say it, Jason Little.
I've heard that name before.
Yeah, we spent like every day together in junior high, and he got me into skateboarding, and it was in I want to say 8th or 9th grade. I don't know what he was doing, but he got into some trouble and ended up in juvenile. And while he was in juvie, me and my other friend would go, because he lived down the street, we would go to his mom's house and check on him and his little brother, because he was pretty much the male, like the, I guess, adult in the family. And so we would check on them, and for some reason he took offense to this. So whenever he got out of juvenile, he was furious that we were going over there and checking on his family, I guess. So he quickly turned against us, and that was the first physical fight I ever got into, was with this kid Jason Little at his house in his front yard. Completely sucker punched me, and we got into it. And yeah, 10 years later, he's going to prison for murder.
Jesus.
That was a random shooting, right? He didn't intentionally mean to kill that lady. He just drove by there and shot her.
Well, I guess the assumption is he was there.
He was pissed the Seahawks lost.
Yeah, I think it was because of football squares or something. It was a dispute over some lost money or football squares or something. So he left, came back, fired shots. One of them wounded her, and then he actually was caught driving later on by a police officer. He was on parole, violation of probation, etc. And then he was carrying a firearm, so he was actually already in jail whenever ballistics ran the bullets that killed her with the gun that they found on him. So he was already in custody whenever they realized it was him that killed her.
Oh, wow.
Is he kin to Kevin Little, the rollerblader?
That's his brother, yeah.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
That's
interesting.
nuts.
You know what? The lady, her daughter was good friends with Laura's sister. And so I remember at Laura's sister's quinceañera, the daughter was there and the mom. And so it's weird how that all ties in. And then my dad called me because my dad works for Johnson's Funeral Home, and so he's always picking up bodies. And it's just like, he's like, yeah, someone did a drive-by today, and we picked up that body. I was like, what? So it's weird how this all comes together, because like you have this backstory of Jason Little, that you used to hang out with him in high school, and I'm over here just hearing it from my dad's end of just like, we picked up this body, she was killed, family showed up, blah, 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 blah. He's always telling me how big the show up is and stuff like that. And it's always like, in cases like this, it's always a really big turnout, because whatever reason. They have I think not a Kickstarter or a GoFundMe or something like that to raise money for the funeral.
Yeah.
Do you have the address for that, or so we can give it to our fans, maybe, or?
I can relink it. I have to go find it, but we'll put it in the description section of.
Kind of merits, kind of warrants that. I mean, it's yeah.
San
Real-
Angelo Live, everybody.
Real quick, I want to apologize for the sound effect I
Oh,
used.
shut up, Tony.
That was in bad taste.
You're the one on the
Tony.
software.
God, well, you're such a jerk.
did.
You're a real bully here.
Tony, were you ever in any fights?
Some kids would throw spitballs at me,
That's the extent of it.
and one time I got up, pissed, and got towards them, but then I just went to the restroom. And,
You started crying.
not really. Maybe a little water.
Oh man.
I was always the start of squabble.
Other than that, one like real gangbanger guy who doesn't speak English, like he's like, hey, pinche gringo, da, 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 something. I don't know what he said, and then he was like, hey, I'm talking to you, and then he pulled me up by the shirt, and I'm like, I don't know you, I didn't say anything, and I just walked away. Pretty much
Are you
because
like optimum height at this point? Like
I was still pretty
the
big.
point that you were going to grow? Like
So when he picked you up by the shirt, is it more like you were picking him up by the shirt?
No, he was still.
Probably like fucking 5'4" or some crazy
He was
shit.
probably like 30 years old in middle school. I don't
Oh,
know.
yeah, that's also appropriate for RGV.
But
so he was
pretty much
basically
it's like,
basically Adam Sandler and Billy Madison like pissing in like the tiny stalls, like the tiny urinals.
Dude, yeah, you'd be surprised. Or not surprised. There'd be some people
Thank
there.
God for not growing up in the RGV.
I went to elementary at the north side of town, so I mean people spoke English, and then I moved to the south
Where'd
side.
you go, Rayburn?
No, I went to Garza for.
Oh, Garza. Okay.
So third grade, I went to Bonham, which is south side, and pretty much everybody spoke Spanish. Like that was the common language, and so I was.
We have the bottom here. I was like, wait a minute. So like for a second there, I was like, oh.
No, he's talking about RGV area. Yeah, you got to throw out city names with that, man.
Yeah, I went to McAllen.
Nobody knows what you're talking about.
South McAllen, where everybody spoke Spanish, and so it was kind of jarring, just a vast change of just
Landscape culturally and
cultural. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, there's some parts. It's really divided. Like, if you go south of the highway, for example, if this is Highway 83,
That's where I live.
the world changes.
Jeremy, you said you always start fights? You're in the
no. I was at I was always kind of like the fights they got into were at the beginning, like they were in squabble stage, either
You were the ring announcer for the fight?
either in posturing. Either in posturing when it's like it's the pushing, it's like, oh, what the fuck you gonna do? Oh no, do something. No, you do something. Either it was always that, or like first, swing was about to be thrown. The first punch, swing, whatever you want to call it, was about to be thrown. Then it was broken up. I do recall a couple of spats in junior high. I got spit on during mechanics class, and basically tried to retaliate, and that got broken up. And the only action that was taken was I got a schedule change, and I was moved to a different. I was basically moved to a different mechanics class, or I was also in a construction class, which is like wood shop kind of. I don't know what differentiated it from wood shop, but I remember this guy asking me for change. I didn't have any, and I just like pushed him, and he was easily 6'2", something like that.
How tall are you again?
Leave me alone, and I just.
Yeah, but how
pushed
tall are
him
you?
away.
Like what? 4 or 5?
At that point, maybe. Well, yeah, compared to all of you guys, yeah, probably about 4 or 5.
Jesse's like
probably-
4'4". 4.
That's about a good apple tall.
Tiny little
Wait,
fucker.
I thought you were like 5'8" or something, Jeremy.
I'm 5'8", 5'10" in heels.
Fantastic. All
All
right.
right, I'll mute myself.
No, go ahead.
See you guys miss me so
What
much.
happened? What happened?
He's 6'5", you're 4'4", and you're punching his stomach, and then what happens?
Basically, I actually do kind of like squat and do the little Mac like power up punch, like and try and give him one wallop. Make some contact, and then it gets into the grabbing stage of everything, and then my construction teacher broke it up, and yeah, that was about it. But basically, all of those guys, like, I found that even though I'm not living that well, living well is kind of the best revenge, because I do every now and then run into those jokers around town, and they're either washing dishes or
Or they're washing cars at the car wash?
something like that. There's washing involved.
So let's say a typical example of this would be you just walked out of the internet cafe, you're flush with $20 from winning. And you're like, oh, hey, what's up, bitch? You fucking washing dishes? God, you suck.
Yeah, I go to Whataburger, the dudes. I go to Whataburger. I go buy my fucking triple cheese, jalapenos, bacon, toasted buns, wada size like a motherfucker, because I'm balling like that. I just throw it in his face. I'm like, keep the change, you filthy animal. That sort of thing.
You just don't get it. That's awesome, bro. Good for you, man.
Yeah, that's real good.
We're all proud of you.
Yeah.
Now, Jesse, you mentioned one fight where you got sucker punched. I imagine you've been in a lot of fights, because you just seem like an individual that gets startled pretty easily. You know what? Let me tell you about this one thing. The one time, Jesse and I were at San Angelo's premier strip club, Desiree's. And I remember this one time, we're sitting at the table, and this drunk guy bumps into Jesse. Jesse, out of nowhere, like a fucking chimpanzee or a monkey, a spider monkey on Mountain Dew, just grabs this guy and throws him on the ground. Just jumps out of his seat, gets this guy by the back, neck, chunks him on the ground. Pa!
Please tell me that Jesse said "shut up" when I'm talking to you before he fucking threw the first punch.
Oh, that guy just gets up and it's like, dude, I'm so sorry. And I'm just looking at both of them like, I've never seen this guy move so fucking fast. I'm not gonna piss this guy off. And that's one of the memories I have of Jesse. We didn't hang out too much post. I don't know. I didn't know Jesse till college, and even then, we didn't hang out that much. He was just that one weird vegan guy. That's all he was to me. I was like, oh yeah, I know that guy. He's got a lot of tattoos and he eats tofu. Yeah.
Loves animals and stuff.
He likes
and
tea
shit.
things.
But we go to strip clubs together.
Oh, there you go, titties. Another tea thing.
We love objectifying women. I mean, he hates the fucking murdering of animals, but he loves to objectify women. Not really, Jesse. I know you're a very respectable dude.
You don't know the real Jesse then. That's all that is.
Like things that start with the letter T, and that's what you get.
He just likes bitches.
Titties.
Tofu.
What? Tattoos.
Yeah, there you go. Speaking of Jesse, you going? Get a little bit of Friday 13th ink?
Maybe tomorrow. Me and my wife have a little early Valentine's Day, so yeah, I think we may make our way up there.
Make sure your wife knows that this took place a long, long time ago before you even met her.
Yeah, she knows.
Oh, okay, good. Okay, good.
But yeah, I've been in quite a few fights actually. Not that I'm proud, but yeah.
You should be proud, bro. You're like the pseudo alpha male. That's who you are.
Nice.
You like to be the alpha male, but don't want people to know that you're the alpha male because that's too mainstream.
I like that Miguel's kissing your ass so much right now.
No, I'm not kissing his ass.
He doesn't want to get his ass kicked.
Yeah, he doesn't get his ass kicked.
And that guy, he'd be over here, like, no joke, man. He's probably behind me right now.
You were in his hood last weekend, man. I'm surprised he didn't fucking find you.
Hey, Jeremy, we missed you at my sister's wedding. Why didn't you show up?
I was pretty fucking tired, man.
It's all good, man. Jesse showed up, and
Also, no ride. Come on, man. What the fuck?
That's probably like.
Go pick him up.
I would have sprung for some Crown, bro.
No, we were drinking. What's the one with honey in it?
You were drinking some Jack Daniel's honey.
Jack Daniel's
Tennessee honey.
Yeah, so I was like halfway through that when Jesse shows up, and so when I get drunk, I'm just like talking. Hell yeah! Just like, what's up, Jesse? Blah blah blah. Hey, remember that one douchebag I used to hang out with that was your friend, but not really my friend, but ended up, messing around with my wife, but not you, stuff like that, and kind of like turned on her back. And he's just a really bad friend, but now he's married with kids. We had those stories going on.
That's his life sentence.
I haven't gotten drunk with you in a while, Miguel. I forgot what you acted like, but now I remember.
And then next thing I know,
we're gonna have to have an empty rant like drink-a-thon. Like we're all gonna have to like be in the same fucking state. Randall, you need to fucking get here soon.
I don't think you want to be around me when I get drunk.
I ain't got no type, bro.
I don't think I've ever been around.
I ain't looking right.
I've ever been around you whenever you get drunk.
Who, me?
Yeah.
No. Because usually I have to stay sober enough to salvage whatever shenanigans you or Sergio or whoever are getting involved in, so I don't usually get too drunk.
Sergio from Rio?
Sergio's from Rio, yeah.
Yeah, you don't know these guys, okay? Just relax.
That was a horrible Smirnoff Ice callback. That was a horrible Smirnoff Ice commercial callback. You know Sergio? Sergio from Rio?
Well,
sure.
Next time he's wrong.
The Rio brand? Or Rio?
No,
Rio
nobody.
Grande.
Bro. Anyways, I'm halfway through the charanga, and Jesse just decides to freaking leave on me, and then I didn't see him anymore.
Where'd he go? Oh,
God damn it. I missed the charanga?
Yeah.
Yo nunca había bailado, pero hoy en día me he llamado. La charanga, que me da pocos botan la mula y se sienten buenos cuando la bailan. Yo nunca había bailado, pero hoy en día me he entusiasmado con ese ritmo de la
We usually dance this like a cumbia.
Me he dado cuenta que hasta los locos
Just walk in a circle. It's the lazy Mexican dance. I mean, the laziest. You're just walking in a circle.
Just
walk a circle. You don't do the light thing.
We don't have dusters or lawn implements in our hands.
Yeah.
Just walking in a circle. Just get to the breakdown. That's my
Right.
next.
Shut up. No, a little early. It's coming up. The breakup's coming up. I'm like, yo, Jesse, come out here and dance with me, Jesse. Jesse just pushed me off. He's like, yeah,
What did you move during the breakdown, though?
I was doing this thing with my hands really fast in the air, just like, get away from me, flies.
And everybody's like,
yeah, and everyone's just like, fuck yeah, Miguel, you're the greatest fucking dancer I know. I'm like, fuck yeah.
I picture Jesse's as a hardcore dance, like he's picking up change during the breakdown.
Jesse don't dance. I've yet to see Jesse dance anything.
He leans back.
I've ever seen
He
Jesse
just
dance.
pulls his pants and leans back. That's all he does.
We were downtown San Angelo, and that I don't know where we were. It was Block 1 or whatever, and this guy's listening to this shit. He's just going to town on this. So there's Jesse, and that's the closest I've ever seen him dance, but it's because we're in the mosh pit or running in circles or whatever those guys do, and they're running in
Pretending
circles.
to fight people.
Yeah, that's what it was. And Jesse was pretending to fight me, and of course I'm like, 7 foot, and Jesse's like 4 feet. So I'm just like, okay, relax, Jesse. Relax, Spider Monkey.
It's Randall versus a baby, basically.
That's actually how most of the fights that I've been in have started. Of
Versus a baby?
With the baby?
No, with the venues and bands.
Let's kill some babies.
Someone accidentally strikes someone else.
Yeah, it's always.
What
Yeah.
the fuck, dude?
It's always crew fights.
I'm fake fighting, bro.
And it was always my friend Ray, because
The black man's crumping.
You fight the crew of the band, like the guy.
no, there's always because most of the shows we went to were out of town.
He gets in it, though.
San
I've
Angelo
seen Ray,
doesn't.
he gets in.
Yeah.
He'll get it in.
Where's that foghorn? Where's that foghorn?
we we brought a lot of good bands to San Angelo, but we didn't bring large crowds. So when we would travel, we would go to like bigger towns like Midland or Abilene or whatever, and there's always, I mean, we would go like with, you know, like a pretty decent sized San Angelo crew, and yeah, it usually is, I don't want to call it turf wars or anything, but yeah, when you get there, you're kind of outnumbered. There's a lot of dancing involved, even though y'all probably don't consider it dancing, but somebody gets hit, and yeah, if it's one of us, then it usually turns into a big fight like that. So I'd say,
All you guys were black, like, so I'm assuming there's no colors involved.
Were you guys the Warriors?
the Warriors.
The Hardcore Furies. You guys were the Hardcore Furies.
No,
Baseball bats.
Do you have names, Jesse?
we did, yeah, actually. Some of the other towns started calling us the Suicide Kings or Suicide Crew, and then we started the Contra Valley Productions, and we started like taking the music serious. So then we started referring to us as CVC or Contra Valley Crew. And then
I've
we
seen
all
that
had, like, our own
on
nicknames.
Yeah, I've actually seen some people do the symbol with their hands or some shit like that. I forget.
Yeah, CVC. Yeah. So CVC was pretty popular back whenever I was like in high school and a little afterwards.
I saw that tagged on a few walls too.
Yeah.
Those were the days.
I was like, that's not how you spell CVS. Fucking idiot.
But that's how most of the fights started. It's always somebody's girlfriend got hit or somebody got stomped on the ground, and yeah, it's usually. And Ray's
Tripping.
Ray doesn't give a fuck.
He's bad
Dude,
about
Ray doesn't give a
moshing.
fuck. You know what? Ray's actually one of our avid listeners. Or he was when I met him. He said he listens to the show. So shout out to Ray.
Sorry,
No,
Adrian.
this guy looks like Jesse, but probably 200% meaner.
Oh.
Meaner. Also, he's been working out. I see his Snapchats. He's at the gym.
Yeah, he's got one of those prison bodies.
He picks fights everywhere we go. We went to Whataburger, and he just started like making fun of the cook, and the cook got so mad, like just came at us like while working at Whataburger, like wanted to fight us, like
The guy
we'll lose his job.
He's fucking working at Waterford.
Dude, that guy grew up in Fresno. Like, yeah, he's a transplant. Like, but yeah, that's Fresno in him. I think it's a little Fresno.
Maybe he's just a douchebag. Who makes fun of the Whataburger cook? Come on.
I think he knew.
Guy's cooking your burgers, and he works at Whataburger.
Yeah. Get that guy.
Jesse's like, I don't eat any of this shit. It's not even me, but I wouldn't even eat any of this shit.
Yeah, Jesse, what are you doing at Whataburger? That's like eating meat by association.
Oh, that's like late night
Contact carnivore.
Yeah.
What else is
yeah, I
going to be
don't know.
open late at night?
Your mom.
Oh.
Yeah,
I'm
but
about to watch this thing.
Ray's super disrespectful to like wait staff and just like
I like
customer
Ray.
service people. It's funny, but it's like
He's a funny dude. Unless you're the other side of
He's
that.
an apprentice tattooer,
yeah.
which is
Has
ironic.
Ray ever made fun of you, Jeremy?
Not to my face.
I feel like he would. Knowing you and knowing Ray and knowing the fact that you know him and he probably knows you.
What the hell?
We gel on quite a few topics. Like, I mean, we talk about like David Lynch. I'll do a David Lynch impersonation. It'll make him laugh, and he comes out to support the comedy shit. I mean, we get along all right from my point of view. I don't know about him.
Would you say it's like my association with ML?
Ooh, yeah, maybe a little bit.
Okay. Okay.
Maybe
I
a
need
little
like
bit.
a flow chart for what the hell these relationships are in San Angelo, because this is
I need a
ridiculous.
fucking Venn diagram with these people.
What about Ann Banks? You think he gets in fights? Let me see.
I think for YouTube views, maybe.
I'm saying I'm really in the hood. I'm really getting money. But fuck what you heard, you know what I'm saying? It shouldn't even have went to this level. On the cool, this is some sad shit to be artists and some music and fighting. But look, this is right after the fight. Nothing. You feel me? Nothing.
I feel you.
You feel me?
He never did like a 3 days
You know what I'm
later
saying?
video with like bruises and shit though.
Laughing, pulling hair, all that. The motherfucker like 10 stories tall. You know what I'm saying? Y'all just see it for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Peace.
And then it goes into the video of them fighting.
Niggas.
He's
Hey.
fighting. Ant Banks versus Pistol Pete.
Come on, follow me. Come on. You know the cops finna come.
Hey, y'all come in the yard.
Yeah, man.
We-
Come on,
no-
man, let's go somewhere else.
None of us want to go to jail.
The laws won't come. The laws won't come, man. Get on the phone.
This is a YouTube
It's all coming.
Was it a real video?
Yeah, it's Ant
Ant
Banks.
Banks?
Pistol Pete. Yeah, it's on YouTube.
All they gotta do is stuff in the yard. Hey, y'all just come in the yard.
Gross.
Nah, she won't call the cops, bro.
Right.
Hey, she won't call the cops, bro.
I think a good. I like that I like this topic. We're talking about violence. We're talking about anti-violence. Am I right? We wanna promote anti-violence.
I don't know. What, is that what you're promoting? You want to promote anti-violence?
But Adrian, though, like Adrian on the last pod, though, like I mean, you know, he was some hardcore Star Wars bashing. How you feel about that? You got beef?
Some violence is justified.
Good, baby.
Play phaser versus lightsaber violence is good, I guess.
Yeah, I'm starting to think like I kind of regret growing up, and I never really threw a punch.
Yeah, man. You know, you know what? It's a different experience when you truly feel a punch that you're throwing hit another human face. It's a weird feeling, and it's something that you can't mimic anywhere else. Like you can punch a wall, you can punch a couch, you can punch your cat, but when you hit another human being in the face, it is a different sensation. And I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm not saying I like punching people in the face, but I definitely like how it feels to punch someone in the face.
You felt alive.
Yeah,
for sure.
It is really like fulfilling and like overwhelming. The first time,
it goes back to our primal traits. I mean, it's who we are. It's biology. It's fucking biology.
and I blame it. I don't want to completely blame it on the fight that I had with Jason, but that was like my first legitimate fight, and I would say, yeah, I lost it, but I felt like I was sucker punched, and from then on, I was just, every time there was an opportunity to fight, I felt like I had to redeem myself. Like that can't be my only fight, and I lost it.
So you became a master in Krav Maga and close quarters combat, and every time you fought somebody in the future, you're like, done.
And I definitely a vivid memory of you throwing that guy down at the strip club. It's just like that guy just barely like leaned on you. It's just like on the ground.
And it's not something
versus punching someone in the face. Where does that land on primal instinct?
No, it's just you.
Like primal urges and feels.
Like, why do you like watching boxing? Why do you like UFC fighting? Yeah. I
don't come whenever I watch UFC.
Do you come when someone punches you in the face? Because that's a totally different thing. I mean, we could get into that later or on another.
I'm trying to take the cast to a dark road.
S&M, whatever that may be.
50 Shades coming out this week, guys.
I didn't even know you had sex, Jeremy. So this is all news. So, that's cool.
That's just hilarious, you know what I'm saying? You know, that's just so fucking
You know what I mean? Jeremy, I'm just kidding, bro. You know we love you.
Yeah.
Jeremy.
Most of the time.
Jeremy, we love you all the time. Don't be like that.
Long time? You love me a long time? You love me a long time?
Have you ever hit anybody in the face?
No, just in the body, just body blows. I've never really landed that one solid, like, I've always wanted to do that Brad Pitt and Snatch, just like the one punch and knock him out, the one punch Mickey, knock him out, you know, like.
Dang.
Yeah.
Okay.
Never done that.
So I still have all that built up, like, you know, at least I can masturbate, so I can get the bad juices out of that, but like punching someone in the face, I don't have like just someone I can punch in the face to get that out.
Yeah, I don't know if you agree, but I feel I'm past that. Like, I'm an adult. I have no right to be punched in the face unless I don't know, something really special.
Who the hell is playing the tuba?
If I do have cancer and I'm a Make-A-Wish kid, like,
Solid.
that'll be my Make-A-Wish. It's like, just want to punch somebody in the face solid.
Sorry, let me restart that part.
I don't want to fight anybody, but I will fight Tony next time I'm back in Texas.
Hey, Randall, have you ever been punched in the face, Randall?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, both in Taekwondo and in regular fighting.
Hold
Like,
up.
did they have to jump to do it? Did they have to use a stool or like a step ladder?
Not a
You're a tall
Taekwondo. I
dude.
did that when I was a little kid.
Oh,
Regular
okay.
fighting, yeah.
Want to hear some trained?
One time, I was fighting with a good friend of mine because he always liked to pick fights or whatever. And I remember he kicked me, and I just grabbed his leg, and I held it. And he had that, like, oh shit look on his face. Because I basically immobilized him, and I just started pounding on him. And it was funny.
That's cool, man. So you never got into a fight just out of anger, though?
Probably while drunk.
I can't say I've gotten into a fight while drunk.
I'll kick myself in the face when I'm drunk.
Yeah,
Like, I'm really angry. I'm just like, I take it out on myself. It's just this recycling of energy. I need it for some reason.
Well, I mean, I used to be a really big asshole in high school, and so, yeah, I never really got any fights with anybody there, though, because everybody that I was with in high school, they're generally pretty cool people. It was more like in middle school. I did fight this guy that I used to be friends with in elementary, but, like, did a 180 on me and just made fun of me all the time and just ragged on me and all this shit. In 8th grade, kind of like your situation, Miguel. I got into a fight with him, but I was, like, way taller than him because he was still really short at the time. And everybody congregated in the bathroom, and we're just there, like, facing off against one another. He's there trying to punch me, and he couldn't reach my face. And I'm just kind of like, I'm throwing swings at him, but I'm kind of thinking to myself, what the hell am I doing? What is this spectacle that I'm engaged in front of all these fucking slack-jawed idiots? But, and of course, everybody afterwards kind of like, well, the fight was kind of a tie because you guys didn't really beat each other up, but it was pretty funny to watch him try to jump and hit you, and I'm like, yeah, whatever.
And any of the times that I have punched myself in the face have been during
arguments. Hang on. You punch yourself in the face, Jeremy?
When he's
Well,
drunk?
like, in the forehead and stuff, like, oh god, I'm so fucking stupid, like, and then I'll just, like, strike myself in kind of the temple and, like, the forehead area. But what it does is it does establish this crazy aspect that they're like, stop it, but also it's like, man, I really don't want to fuck with this guy because, like, if he hurts himself that bad, then I really don't want to see what he'll do to me. So, like, when I've gotten into qualms with friends about, things, and I'm just like, god damn it, what a moron. And then I'm just, like, hitting myself on inanimate objects and shit, and, like, whatever, but
Wow.
it does establish dominance in, like, a weird way.
Okay, Tuco, calm down.
But you're not hurting anybody but yourself.
Oh, I got one more thing to add on to that bandwagon. When I was in middle school, my English teacher, I think that's who it was, I remember they were going on about, I think it was not long after Columbine, I forget what the fuck reason was that they brought up the topic.
Oh boy, Randall.
But they're like,
You're a
well,
bully.
there are some people in this classroom, and she named one person who was a pretty popular guy, but he was kind of like popular in the alternative sense. Because he flowed against, he went against the grain. He was a rock in the ocean type of blah 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 bullshit, whatever. And she's like, well, I wouldn't expect someone like him to go and kill himself or kill anybody else because, he expresses his feelings and he always speaks his mind or whatever. But somebody else, like, say, Randall, on the other hand, he might do it. And I was like, all right.
Damn, Randall.
It's hardcore.
Why
would they tell you that?
Randall, I'm sorry to hear that.
Names.
Yeah, why do they need names? And man, I don't know.
And the whole time it's Miguel bringing knives to school, not Randall.
It's the guy named Most Humorous bringing the knife to school.
Yeah, that's what's kind of like fucked up about it because I've always had those like fantasies or whatever. You want to get back at somebody, but then I just try to make it really stupid, so it's something that doesn't really fucking matter. Like, oh, I have a giant robot. I'm gonna blow everybody away. Ha 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 ha. Really, whatever. I'm gonna move on. But just because I went against the grain of going against the grain, I get singled out as possible suicide. Yeah, suicide homicide perpetrator right here.
Yeah. Jeremy, so I want to touch back on, you used to punch yourself on inanimate objects and used to punch yourself.
Headbutt, it just depending on, this was drunken days, I'd hit myself over, a dashboard multiple times, or, just strike the side of my head a couple of times,
Jeez, man. Do you still do that? Like after that comedy show where you didn't do so well, were you hitting yourself that night?
No. I decided to be an adult and drink it away.
Okay. Oh man, that's trippy, bro. I worry about you now.
Shut up.
I'm like, maybe we can get a GoFundMe started or a Kickstarter for some therapy.
For fucking foam around the corners of my house?
Guys, we need a fund. Well, yeah, that could be part of one of the provisions of the Kickstarter is that we need to buy a large supply of styrofoam and basically make your house baby safe. And then, let's see, what else could we?
We're gonna strap a giant helmet to your head just so when you go run into the wall, it just bounces
You have
right
to wear a
off.
helmet, so we get
A cute noise like a dog toy.
Those self-defense self-defense outfits they use for women's self-defense classes. It's like all foam, but a guy's in there. It's like, that's your attacker.
Or a straitjacket.
Yeah, I break enough shoulder, I can get out of it.
Okay, crazy.
Well, anyways, I'm gonna take going into the second part of our show. Let's take like a 2-minute break. Y'all want to keep going? What's going on?
How do we do a break?
I don't know.
When do we break?
We're gonna break now. Cause
an hour? Do we have a sponsor?
And I've been sitting down, so I don't want to get blood clots.
Play music.
Okay.
I can't continue.
That's how I feel about every show, Jesse.
No, my 6-year-old just woke up, so I'm gonna go ahead and lay down with her.
All right, Jesse. We'll catch you later, man.
Good night, guys.
Later, Jesse.
Well, we can keep going. What do you guys want to do? You want to end it here?
I think we could end it here.
That was a good talk.
Didn't you want to advertise your friend's thing or whatever?
Oh yeah, I wanted to talk about that a little bit. We got two things we wanted to mention. I wish I had mentioned it a little bit earlier, but
Sorry.
We were going.
It's all violence chat.
You dropped some bombs, Miguel.
Let's see here. My friend, he works in Bakersville, and he's a photographer.
Oh, Robert B. Hill. Robert B. Hill Photography.
And he has a thing going on with, I believe it's called Hectic Films.
Yes.
And let's see here. One thing is that he has a comic book out called Naked Zombie Girl, and so which you can buy at the Hectic Films online store. Now he also has something else he had posted, and I'm gonna find that. Here we go. Now he has submitted. I'm gonna read his post. It says, "Good morning. Please help us out and vote for Infection. We could really use the 10,000 prize for our next upcoming project." So he submitted this into the film festival, and we can actually play it right now. See how this sounds. Oh wait, that's the wrong thing. There we go.
Got a guy shot in the arm.
Yeah, some guy shot in the arm. He's trying to get into this locked area.
Might have been bit.
Maybe it's bit. Yeah, it's called Infection, so it is possible.
So these are all San Angelo actors?
No, this guy's in Bakersfield, but he's from San Angelo. I don't think this actor's from. And for YouTube listeners, I want to go watch the video. It's called Infection. Like he's just slowly dying in a parking garage. Good stuff.
Kind of eerie, like the music.
Okay. Yeah, so that's Infection.
I'm guessing the zombie's gonna come out any minute now.
Yeah, it's a 5-minute clip, so that's just the beginning of it. But yeah, definitely follow up on that and
Find out what happens.
just go ahead. If you watch it and you like it on, that's how it works. You have to like it on YouTube, and I believe the most likes wins the prize. So that's the idea there. Robert Hill, that guy's got some things going on. He takes a picture of metal too.
Very talented photographer.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
I like the art.
He also did like another short that was kind of reminiscent of the show Death Valley. Did you guys ever see that?
No.
It was like on MTV. It was about the Death Valley area in California, but it was like cops. It was like Reno 911 meets Night of the Living Dead in a way. Very underrated show. Very cool.
Well, I'm very tired, so I'm gonna go ahead and.
Don't we all?
Don't we all?
God.
Don't we all?
Hey, so real quick, y'all want to play a quick game of guess the lyrics?
Don't we all?
Oh no, I think I'm off outside, guys.
Okay, so this whole we're gonna end on this. We'll do guess the lyrics. Now, this whole podcast we've been playing a song that I say is playing in what do you call it? Jesse's car, and it's just music that you can't really. I mean, so that's good stuff right there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I want you to guess what he's saying, right? Yeah, right there. What do you think he said right there?
I don't know. It sounds like Goldar from the Power Rangers with like just fronting a metal band.
Hey, play it again.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me pull up that clip right there. There you go.
This is a.
I caught some vowels.
Something, we lie at dawn.
We die at dawn.
Dead by dawn.
This is your Facebook something?
Okay, what he's saying right there is, I never achieve emotional numbness, nor will I enjoy a peaceful rest.
What's that last part?
It's like, nor will I enjoy a single peaceful rest. Presence is an emotional numbness. Nor will I enjoy single peaceful rest. That's good stuff.
It's like, this is my Facebook mess. We lie at dawn. Something.
Yeah, it's similar to that.
Who the hell is that?
I don't know.
This moment brought to you by Empty Rant.
I don't know. Maybe Jeremy has a woman over. I don't know.
All right.
Don't we all?
Don't we all?
Yeah.
Tony over.
Well, this has been episode 23. Episode we're calling Mariam is a. Hang on, let me find it again. Mariam is an /4 open bracket S close bracket S equal sign open bracket close bracket open bracket H/0.
It's an inside joke. You're gonna name it that? How are people gonna find it?
It's real inside.
This podcast episode 23 is gonna be
Tony is
violence.
The Rex Amos murder and high school bullying. That's what we're gonna call it.
See something, don't say shit. How about that?
Oh.
If you see something, say something.
I scheme. I don't know. We'll name it something. All right, guys.
Hashtag see something, say something on the Twitter. That'll
I don't
get
get
some
tired.
views.
Hashtag IDGT, everybody.
Email us at emptyrant@gmail.com. And we also have a Twitter setup that we never tweet from. For whatever reason, Randall never likes to tweet. And that is at empty.
Are you doing that?
Yeah, Randall, that was your job.
Oh. I'm just gonna like retweet a bunch of stuff. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean that's cool, bro.
Alright.
Do something.
Thank you guys. I had some fun.
Thank you, new guy. I didn't catch your name.
This is the sound effects wizard.
Thank you, sound effects wizard.
Toner the boner.
And let's see. This week I'll leave you with "Woman Shrieking Racist Rant" goes viral, and you'll see. You'll see why. That's what it says.
Is this a New York one?
Ignorant nigger.
But you know that's the thing. Like people who are racist like that, they always turn around and paint themselves as the victim, right? Like he's the racist against me because he doesn't acknowledge what a nigger he is. Like, okay, but who couldn't think that rationally? But they don't think rationally, right? And she's got her kids in the background. What's she teaching her kids? And then I love the bragging she did in the middle. As a stripper, I knew.
Thanks.
Stay here. My husband's coming.
Okay, sure.
Where's my coffee? Hello? I told him you're coming. You're whooping this fucking ass. Get the video off my kids now, or I will fucking break it. I'm gonna whip my coffee at him
Go
if
ahead.
he does not stop fucking.
Good night.